Welcome back, everybody. My name is Daniel O'Connor. I'm the Grindio Gourmet, and today we have a nice little twist on a very classic dessert. So let's focus on the technique, but what we're going to do today is some strawberries flambéed with a green peppercorn kick. So let's introduce our ingredients very quickly. We've got 2 cups of strawberries. I had some blueberries left over from some pancakes the other day, so we're just going to use those leftover blueberries for color, if nothing else. I have some green peppercorns, and these come in a brine, so they're kind of soft. And what you're going to do is I have about a teaspoon of these for the 2 cups, and they're soft and they pack a nice little punch, so be careful. So when you use them, we need to drain them of the brine and have them measured and pre-ready. Woo! They've got a little kick, a very distinctive taste. They're beautiful. They're used traditionally in the steak au poivre verte, a steak and peppercorn sauce. We're going to use them as a dessert. Strawberries and melons do really well with peppers, so it's a really nice combination. Green peppercorn, strawberries, blueberries, flambéed with a rum and Cointreau sauce, and that just a tiny little bit of some OJ, some orange juice. So here we go. We've got a preheated pan, and we're going to take 1 stick of butter. It's about a quarter of a cup. We're going to melt that butter down without color, and to that we're going to add an equal quantity of sugar. So that's about a half a cup. 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of sugar, and we're going to mix these together, and we're going to create a syrup. We want to create like a little caramelized syrup. And then we're going to help move this process along, I'm going to turn the temperature down to gentle. It's always important to preheat your pans. That's absolutely critical, crucial. And to this, we're going to add about 1 ounce of orange juice. And you can hear that reaction very quickly. And as this starts to melt all the sugar, it'll become translucent and it'll start to get that syrupy-like consistency, which is what we're really looking for. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Cointreau, and Cointreau is an orange-flavored liqueur. And between those two, now we're going to let this simmer and cook down for just a couple minutes until we get a honey-like consistency. So both the color and the consistency will be just like honey. Then we're going to add our fruit. We're going to let our fruit warm, get a little bit soft, and then we're going to flambe that rascal, and we're ready to serve. So this is really fast when you have all your ingredients prepared, measured, and ready to work. So let's come back in about 3 minutes, and we'll be ready to add the fruit and the flambe. We're cooking down this syrup, and this syrup is sugar and butter in equal quantities, a little bit of orange juice, and a little bit of a orange-flavored brandy Cointreau. And then to this, we're going to add our blueberries and our strawberries. And the blueberries are strictly an optional ingredient. I just use them because I had them, and I kind of like the color contrast when we can. And this technique can be used for almost any kind of fruit. Bananas work really well. So what I want to do first is I want to soften these strawberries up, these blueberries, a little bit. So we're going to expose them to the heat, expose them to the syrup, and very quickly the syrup is going to start to take on a reddish color from the extraction of the fresh natural juices and sugars from the strawberries. So as these start to glaze up really nice, and we want the strawberries slightly firm. We don't want the strawberries cooked down to mush. We don't want it to look like they were frozen and defrosted. Now we want beautiful fresh strawberries. They're cut in half, they're washed in nice cold water, they're dried, and then they're ready to go. So you can see how the syrup is starting to take on that reddish tinge, that reddish hue from the strawberries and the blueberries. And now I'm going to add the green peppercorns. And this is also a personal preference. So if you don't like spice, maybe you don't put the green peppercorns in. If you like a lot of spice, maybe you use 2 teaspoons of green peppercorns instead of 1. But I think this will have a nice little balance to it. So as this starts to cook, you can see the strawberries are starting to cook down a little bit. You got the syrup. Let's give this a really quick taste. It's nice, it's hot, it's sweet. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this because it's really sweet. It's got sugar, it's got fresh fruit. So just a little bit of flake salt and a little bit of salt to this. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of this flake salt at the very end when we plate it. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of bitterness with some grated lemon or lime. I happen to have some lime here, so I'm just gonna grate a little bit of lime zest right over the top of this guy, and this will help balance out the flavor so you don't get just sweetness. So what we're looking for is a beautiful balance of sweet, a little bit of salt, a little bit of acid, a little bit of bitterness, and a little bit of spice. So I think we're just about ready here. I'm just gonna take that off. We're gonna mix these up. Now to flambe, it's really a method of getting your pot hot. So, and you want to burn off the alcohol. We want the flavor of the rum. So I have an añejo rum, an aged rum from the Dominican Republic, Barcelona, I think it is. Yeah, Dominican Republic. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the pan back a little bit on the flame, and we really just want to heat up this part of the pan, and that's where we're going to pour the liquor. So when you flambe, it's really important that you respect a few things. One is that you never pour a bottle directly into the flame. So you're always measuring your product and then adding that. And then the second is to be really conscious of the temperature. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to keep pulling this back. And we're really just trying to get this part of the pan nice and hot. And the other option is to warm your rum or your brandy, whatever you're going to flambe with. So let's just pull this back a little bit more. Let that reduce. You can see this nice rich syrupy color now. Let me take the ice cream out, and we're just going to scoop some ice cream here and then spoon this right over the top. So I think we're ready. I'm going to turn the temperature up quite a bit. Get this nice and hot now. Really, 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 really hot. And then 1, pour the liquor into a little cup or glass. 2, remove the product from the flame. So you never pour this directly into an open flame. If you have an electric range, it could still combust spontaneously. So you can hear that sound, and then you can see that beautiful flambe. Basically what we're trying to do is just flambe get burn off the liquor, and there we go, and it's done. That took all of what, 4 or 5 minutes? Beautiful presentation value. And I'll be right back, and we'll plate up one dish and we're ready to go. 1, so we have a little bit of ice cream. This happens to be a strawberry cheesecake ice cream because we're in quarantine. I couldn't find anything else. And then we're just going to nappe a little bit of the fruit, the blueberries, the strawberries, a little bit of sauce, and then these really nice green peppercorns over the top. And I always, in the restaurant, love to serve this with a little side of the guanciale. So there we go. This is the strawberry and green peppercorn flambe. Super simple. Love the technique. I'm Daniel O'Connor. I'm the Grindio Gourmet, and go Bucks!